Yo, what up, everybody? It's the Spinion. Man, we back in full effect. We was a little bit under the weather, but now we back, and it's time to get back because it's hoop season. It's going down. It's getting very important. It's getting very serious, and we feel the need to reach out to you guys to find out what you think about what's going on and what we think about what's going on.
Yes,
so
sir.
sit back, relax. I'm Ice.
Rico.
And this right here is the Spinion. Let's go. All right. Check this out. It's the Spinion. Nothing football today. I'm sorry. For you football fans, we know the combine going on. We know free agency about to be big, but we ain't talking about that today. We'll talk about that in the weeks to come. Right now, what's important is this hoops that's going down. This basketball that's really important right now. Really serious. Hey, let's go college first. College first, NCAA. Now, I know a lot of y'all are sometimes casual until it gets tournament time. And so you start getting in the tube and start watching, seeing what's important, what's good. There's a lot of tournaments going on, and the tournament is going down. Time to put the brackets in, win a little bit of those dollars. But let me get you hip to what's going on in the hoops world. Now, Rico's more of the NBA aficionado. He watches more of the league. Not that he don't watch college, but he watches more of the league. I watch more of the college game or whatever. That's what makes us balance out a little bit. And I just got to give you abreast of what's going on. All right, who we like? All right, you know, some of your typical teams are there. Kansas is very strong. They got a good defense. They got a good big, and they got great guard play. You got Duke that's going to be in the fray. They're not as the Dukes of old as far as got the highlight reel type players, but they got a nice freshman class, and they defend a little bit better. Yeah. Kentucky's always in it. Their one and done situation and their one and done formula is not as potent as it used to be.
Yeah,
it's still there, and you still have maybe two or three that are one and done, but Kentucky is sort of in the middle of the fray. You know, Michigan State is a tournament team. They got a great guard in Cassius Winston. They got some big men. They get in there and they flat out lock up. Virginia, they boring to watch, but they lock you up. And they've been winning as of late, and they back in the fray to try to repeat this thing. Then you got other teams like Florida State, you got Baylor, Gonzaga still in it, and it's a bunch of other teams that I didn't even mention. But then there are some that have basically peaked as of late that now we got to start talking about, and I'm gonna talk about them real quick. We got Dayton, hometown team. We got San Diego State, only lost maybe 1 or 2 games this year. We got, once again, Gonzaga is back in the fray. They always a mid-major headliner, but are they the truth or not? And then you got somebody like Baylor, who didn't lose until late into the season. They lost to Kansas, then they lost another game, but they right in it because they got good guard play. My formula for success for the tournament is you got to have great guard play. You got to have guys that can make shots, that can create their own shots, because sometimes when you get into the tournament, the one thing they want to take away is the bigs or whatever. If you have a big, he's got to be multi-dimensional, meaning that he got to be able to score down low, got to be able to give you those rebounds, and hit a jumper or two from time to time. Or the great coach has to scheme him up where he's a threat. That's why Kansas is so very important. Their big man, Azubuike, he big, he don't hit the 15-footer, but he flat out dominates the low post. He rebounds,
they always got them some.
And they surround themselves with good shooters and good athletes that can make it happen. I'm scared about UD, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm scared. I know, if anything, if you ain't watched nothing, you watched a little bit about UD because they the hometown team. I actually personally played against Obi Toppin and Trey Landers and all them, but I'm telling you right now, the reason I'm scared against them is because they're not very big. Defensively, when they lost to Kansas earlier this year, I know it was overtime, it was because the big hurt them at the end of the game. And when you scheme things up, the A-10, the conference that they play in, that they rolling through right now, is not really that tough of a conference. So let's say, you get the 2 seed, which you do. I think they'll win their first round game. But that second round game is going to be so important for them. Not that it's not important for everybody else, but that's not one you can pencil UD in going straight to the Sweet 16. Just because who they've been playing as of late, and then when they play against tough games. They lost out there to Colorado earlier this year. Their 2 losses, Colorado and Kansas, 2 tough teams. The other tough teams they played, they was able to be at home. You know what I'm saying? So they got good guard play. Crutcher, you got Ibby, Trey Landers is a defender. Obi can score some buckets. But it's going to be very, very, very important that they collectively be their big men. Because once again, if Obi gets in foul trouble, bruh, they get to be tough.
No, it's just, you just gotta play fast. That's the one thing about the college game that translates from regular season over into the tournament. You still gonna play fast because top college teams like to press.
Right.
So as long as they playing fast.
I think one thing that's in their favor is Anthony Grant having a college pedigree and an NBA pedigree. Because usually those coaches that went from college to the NBA and then they came back, they understand matchups. So what they'll try to do is exploit matchup, just like what they do in the NBA. Right. They'll isolate the floor, and then they'll match somebody up and say, hey, go get a bucket for us or whatever. And then put them in situations where they can get scores. That might be of help, but
big time this year.
I'm going to say right now they are a contender and not a pretender. As far as Gonzaga's always going to be a contender.
Always.
They can shoot the rock, they big, and they got steady guard play. It's not great, but it's steady or whatever. San Diego State, I think they're a pretender. Now, a lot of people, I've already penciled them in to get to the Elite Eight. What you think?
They could possibly be a pretender, but teams like San Diego State that depend on the three-pointers so much, you just never know. Like they gotta be hot. They gotta be shooting well. But if they're shooting well, I think they're absolutely a contender.
I think sometimes people don't even take this to an effect, but some of you basketball players understand the depth perception of your eyes. When you play in those big arenas or whatever, that's why you see in the tournament the shooting somebody catches a hot streak, but then some other shooters that are usually great during the season, they can't get it because the eyes and things like that playing on those big arenas, the shooting goes down a little bit. So you got to be prepared for that or whatever. And then Baylor, I think Baylor's a contender because they guard play. They strong, they heady, they get it done in there or whatever. And they got serviceable bigs that can make things happen. The college basketball season is so wide open this year. You have to watch. It's going to be fun. Even the conference tournaments, it's just going to be fun to watch. I mean, just grab you some popcorn, some chips, and just relax. Absolutely. Ain't nobody winning the Warren Buffett Challenge this year, especially about this tournament, because it ain't nobody sweeping through. It's about 12 teams that can win 6 straight games to win the title. And that's real talk. It's about 12 teams that can flat out go on a 6-game run where they win in tough games and making it happen. So the regular season and all that, it could play a part, but it could just be a misnomer, and that's the way I was going to be. So please be mindful. As far as players, Obi Toppin is one you want to see or you want to look out for. There's Cassius Winston. I love the way he played. He's just box office. He's showtime.
You think he'll go to the league?
I think he's gonna go to the league, but I think he's gonna be second round, or whatever. And I think it's because the draft is now based on potential and not what you've done.
That's true, but he's one of those guards that's great in college. I'm just not sure if somebody's gonna give him a shot.
What helps him
reminds me a lot of Ed Cota as far as athletic ability.
Athletic ability, he doesn't, but what he does better than Ed Cota, he shoots the rock.
He can shoot.
So he would be a good, serviceable backup point guard for any NBA team. Because his head knowledge, he knows how to play the pick and roll pretty good. He, like I say, not very fast, not very quick, but if you leave him open, he's knocking that thing down. That helps him to the league. Do I think he's going to be he's not a lottery, not a first round. He'll be a second round pick. Matter of fact, if he doesn't get picked, it's because of maybe a bigger, more faster guard. But as far as skill set wise, he got it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, what do you think about the kid from North Carolina? North Carolina's not going to make the tournament. He's got the pedigree code.
He's going. He still has the pedigree, so he got the name.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I know he's probably disappointed that North Carolina didn't do as well as they usually do, but
he was on the team. He was on the team. He in the draft class.
Yeah, he gonna be right. He's really nice. He's really nice.
He had a good start to the beginning of the year.
Yeah, he did, and he showed that he could get it done or whatever.
North Carolina just didn't have it this year. This is just one of those years. The one and done it's kind of made its way through, and this is what's called a down year.
You think it's a down year for the draft in total?
It's a down year for the draft totally, but I think it's just a down year for the high end talent in college basketball overall.
That's why I think the James Wiseman kid from Memphis.
They really missed out on not having him there. But I got my own ideas about them not wanting Memphis to succeed with Hardaway.
I got you with that one.
And what he represents for those players
and for the future of basketball.
Exactly, which is why they did what they did to Wiseman, in my opinion.
I agree. I totally agree. All right, so let's move on to the NBA. Like I said, it's all about hoops, so we ain't stopping with that. The NBA is going down. The first thing I want to talk about, because we actually got some comments and some people that question us, maybe not questions, but ask us the question about what do we think about it. And so we're going to give our opinion here. The James Harden Giannis, like, is it a beef? I think it's just like, it's being blown out of proportion.
I think it's definitely blown out of proportion for me. I really don't care.
Right.
That's why I didn't have a comment about it.
But the thing about it was Giannis was picking the teams on TV for the All-Star game. And he picked Kemba Walker over James Harden.
Right.
And he said he wanted somebody to pass me the ball. He threw some jokes out there. I promise you, it seemed so innocent.
It really did.
But the way it was presented,
it was legitimate shade.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Well, one thing I did, it was legitimate shade. Keep.
So then they presented it to Harden.
Yeah.
And Harden took it as shade.
He clapped back.
Yeah, he clapped back. He said, I'm the best player in the league.
Yeah.
We gonna win the title. I got better skills than him.
And he said Giannis don't have no skills.
Right.
And it's kind of interesting because fair enough, that's why both players are kind of getting sensitive on both sides because it's truth on both sides to the criticism.
Okay.
The thing that I think makes it a legitimate beef, even though they don't seem to bring that ferocity on the court when they play each other, it's like, can we see it manifest on the court when they go head to head? But when last year Harden had all of that to say, and I brought it up a couple times, all that to say, when Giannis won the MVP and he felt like he deserved it for whatever reason, it's all started there with him basically saying Giannis isn't a legitimate MVP. When they gave Giannis an opportunity to clap back, he did. But Giannis likes to play innocent, like English is my second language. I'm not trying to be shady, but it was legitimate shade because James Harden don't pass. That's the running joke, running narrative on James Harden, and he feels some type of way about that. James Harden is like we've talked about this. He's very sensitive, but to me he's just focused on the wrong things. He's sensitive about the wrong thing. You need to be focused on winning. I don't know what they doing. I don't know what that idea they got out there. But what he said about Giannis has some truth to it as well. I get we argued about Giannis the other week, but the consensus opinion is Giannis can't shoot from farther than 8 feet. Like, not a jump shot. Okay. He's shooting a little bit of a set shot three, but he's not. What is it, like 22, 23% or something like that now? Yeah. But at least he shoots it. Right. It's like right now his bar is Ben Simmons, so we grading Giannis on a curve.
Right.
Like, at least he shoots that thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And some games it knocks down. But, I get what they were both saying, but it's not really much to be said. Mm-hmm. I mean, neither one are champions.
Neither one, and that was the key for me.
Like, you know what I mean?
Hey, win something, then you can say something.
Y'all meet in the finals,
right?
Or something. Y'all.
Neither one of them are gonna. Now people go pick Milwaukee, but they ain't picking Houston.
Yeah,
get out the second round.
MVP, and we'll see.
Right.
And we'll, we say it all the time, regular season to playoff. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
Right.
Giannis, we will see. Because this is what I know about athletes when they're adding a new skill. It takes years, not just to perfect the skill, but for the skill to be second nature, for you to go to it. Right. When you get backed into a corner, mm-hmm. you're gonna do what you do best. You're not gonna shoot. Remember a couple years ago when DeRozan was still playing for Toronto, he was practicing his three all off season through the regular season. He was shooting it. Then they got in that series with Cleveland. And he staring at that line like, I don't think so.
Ben Simmons is our biggest example.
That's the biggest example as well. When the pressure situation comes, you're gonna do what you're comfortable with, and you're not gonna do what you're not comfortable with. So that
I think
we'll see.
Giannis is gifted, but this is the problem for me. If I have the biggest problem with Giannis, because I'm a Giannis fan, my biggest problem with him is he's working on the wrong skill. To me, I feel like you don't need necessarily the three. You need to score with your back to the basket, your footwork, your turn and face game. Because the three, you got a plethora of shooters at Milwaukee.
What I really feel like Giannis's main weakness is not only does he not have a go-to move, because we've seen that in some players, like LeBron really doesn't have a go-to move. Even though we've seen the spin, some go-to moves in transition, which is what Giannis has. Right. Go-to moves in transition. But Giannis can't dribble. He has no one dribble, two dribble move. He can't take a hard dribble to the right and pull up.
Right.
Hard dribble to the left and pull up.
Right.
1, 2. But he can't pull up for jump shots.
He's only be an elbow in, kind of like a la Dirk.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
But Dirk could get it, boom, and then one bounce, and then all of those things. He just doesn't have that.
And so I think he's working on getting downhill. Like, nobody's gonna let you go downhill in the playoffs.
Well, we just saw what happened.
Yeah, they're gonna load up. So go here, catch it in here. You know how much problems he would cause with a turnaround, a jump hook. You know what I'm saying? With his length and everything like that.
We just saw it.
And then you know what that would do? It would open up the lanes because it's like, we gotta focus on him or whatever. But you're still trying to run a 5-out type of oriented offense.
His best offense is with him and the ball, bringing the ball down the middle.
Yeah,
that's when he's at his best.
And we already saw. Now, on Harden's side of the situation, we've dissected, this thing over and over again. Bruh, man, even now, I think Westbrook is the leading scorer on the team now. And it's just like, it's just the regular season.
Watch this, though.
Absolutely.
Watch it, though. Because watch
no argument for me. We agree on this situation.
Now we do. When they get backed into that corner, you're going to see Harden do what Harden does and Westbrook do what Westbrook does when that pressure situation comes on. And this is the thing, Westbrook is leading the team, not leading the team in scoring, but right now leading the team in scoring over this stretch since they made that. Make no mistake, this is not Harden's comfort zone. It's not Harden's comfort zone. He does not like this.
So you don't think Harden likes this?
No.
Wow. Okay. That's a good.
He does not like it because it's going to be very important to him. You see, the narrative is very important to him. That's why he clapped back at Giannis. That's why he was mad at the MVP. It's going to be very important to him because Rachel Nichols was just interviewing him, right? And the first thing he said was, I'm still leading the league in scoring. So what? So what? You shooting the most. You were shooting the most shots too. You know what I mean? Like, look at you got the ball all the time. Right. You should be leading the league in scoring if you can play at all.
Let's move on. Rookie of the year. When we first talked about this during the All-Star break, we basically said, this is Ja Morant. So, is that still your contention?
That's still my opinion.
Okay.
I think people are trying to change the narrative of Rookie of the Year. And it's kind of pissing me off a little bit. It's kind of really upsetting me because they want Zion to be Rookie of the Year so bad, but it's like he's not gonna play enough games. And
they just gave me players to go back to back.
And I don't want to argue with you. And I don't want to argue with you because he is good.
Right.
But we're not gonna say, because let's say for the sake of argument, we're talking about the MVP. Or whatever. If it's the MVP we argued about, is it Giannis, is it LeBron?
Right.
But if we talking about who the best player,
right.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Right.
Nobody don't come to me telling me Giannis the best player when it's a whole list of stuff he can't do.
Right.
So if we talking about better player, Zion, Ja, then I may be able to give you that. Right. Even though Ja has the skill set, but Zion is just out of this world.
Right.
He's averaging more points, all of those things, but he's playing condensed minutes.
Yeah.
So he can give it all in those minutes. It's almost like he's playing bench, coming off the bench minutes.
Right.
But it's like, come on, that's not.
Okay, let me paint a picture for you. Paint a picture for you. You're right. That's not what the rookie year is about. Here goes the outlier or the caveat to all this. Memphis is 8 in the West.
I know what you about to say.
New Orleans is right there.
Right.
If New Orleans gets over Memphis in the playoffs, does he deserve a contention?
No.
Because of
not only because he doesn't deserve it because he wasn't a part of enough of those wins.
Okay.
That's why.
Enough of the wins for Memphis or
enough of the wins for New Orleans.
Okay.
He wasn't there for not just half the season, but like over half the season, and then he barely plays when he plays.
I just know how the media works, and I know if they
that's
make
what
the
they're
playoffs,
trying to do. That's what they're trying to do.
He's going to
but the reality is,
I can see a code.
And let's just be honest. It's almost like it's still so close to that MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Who's the MVP?
Right.
Ja is. Ja runs the team.
He runs the team.
And not only that, but I think, when we're talking about any of these season awards, narrative matters.
Right.
Nobody expected. That's one of the reasons why I feel like Giannis should have won it last year.
Okay.
Milwaukee got number 1 out of nowhere.
Right.
And that was great. Nobody was penciling in Memphis.
Okay.
They were, if they were number 12, it would have made sense to everybody.
Absolutely.
But everybody was penciling in New Orleans.
The fact that they in contention is because of Ja.
Exactly.
Yep.
And everybody was expecting New Orleans to have a chance to make the playoffs with Zion.
Right.
And the reality is they probably not.
In my opinion, I hope John didn't make the playoffs, and so it can.
So it ain't even a conversation.
So it ain't. I love Zion, just like
I
he
love
does
him
too.
too.
He from Duke, you know.
Come
My
on,
favorite.
man.
But I think what Ja has done, like you said, as a guard, how he's been able to galvanize the team. You know, how he's been able to do some things that we didn't expect this early.
Exactly.
And how mature he's been in handling the approach of it.
And not only this, Ice, but let's not. Are we just assuming that Zion's gonna play all of the games for the rest of the year?
I think, you know,
Are we assuming that?
I think based on this question, we are assuming that he.
But we can't assume that.
Well, at
like,
the airing of this episode, they just gave him the clearance, so he's allowed
yeah,
to
I know.
play back-to-back. So,
right, which is why he probably gonna end up getting hurt and not even finishing the season.
We hope not. But
I hope not.
Yeah.
But like that is.
But
that's
okay,
the
but that's even another point. Because even if he doesn't finish the season, Brandon Ingram's back. They can still win some games.
They can.
And
but they just dropped one. They just dropped one the other day that they shouldn't have dropped.
Right.
And, you know, but it's a young team.
Right. We're going to do a team spotlight with the Lakers today.
Okay.
We've been talking about it, and a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about, we've had to cut for the sake of the show. But right now, I'm going to give him the opportunity to talk about them a little bit because we got a little bit of time to talk about them. Right now, they're number 1 in the West.
Number one
in the West. They
got
a 5.5 game lead. I don't think they're going to lose that situation. But everybody has made moves in order to go at the Lakers. The Lakers finally got a move done when they got one of the Morris twins to come over there.
Big move.
And then they let a player go
Troy Daniels
to clear up another roster spot. And DeMarcus Cousins is gone.
Good, you know, that was a good move they made.
With that being said, dissecting the Lakers, all right, do you think right now, because they were both our picks to win it all, do you think right now they are in position to take it?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I think the Lakers are in prime position to take it. The whole approach that they've been having this regular season, they built the habits. It's all there. You even see it in some games where they get off to a slow start, but you see that defense really come down. You see different players are now starting to peak.
Where are they vulnerable at though?
The vulnerabilities still lie in the same areas.
Okay.
And this is the thing about this year. There's no perfect team this year.
Absolutely.
Which is very interesting when people start talking about the Lakers because it's always the comparison to the Clippers.
But it makes it good for TV too.
Yeah, you know, and it's always like, but people act like the Clippers don't have weaknesses.
Absolutely.
And only the Lakers have weaknesses. There's no perfect team. The Lakers still could use another ball handler because of the inconsistent shooting of Rondo and really the erratic play. Even though we're expecting playoff Rondo, but you know, let's just, for all intents and purposes, we haven't seen that consistently. And you would still like to have a longer 3-and-D type player, you know, at your disposal when you play against longer teams like the Clippers who have those swing men, you know, all-stars that are in the game.
Okay.
That's still the weaknesses. The reason why I think that Markieff Morris move helped with that particular weakness is because he's a hard-nosed player. He can knock down the 3 stretch forward, but he also can do some switching off.
Yes.
And he's a hard-nosed defensive player. You know,
smarter than Kuzma.
IQ, veteran. You know, Kuzma's still killing us. We, you know, talk about Kuzma. You know, he dyed his hair back black, and I thought that was gonna mean that he was gonna play better. He did. You know, he had one game where he's like shot 3 shots in a row, like on balance, and they all went in. And I just thought to myself, why can somebody on the Lakers coaching staff sit with this man in a film session and say, hey, you see how your feet are together and you're bending your knees and you're on balance? That's why you made that shot. Just don't post nothing. Don't say they hate it. Just do that again, and everything will be fine. You know what I mean?
I am very leery, and once again, Lakers was my pick. I don't want LeBron playing point throughout the whole entire playoff.
This is what you're gonna have to
I gotta accept.
Accept.
Okay.
What you gotta accept is two things. The first thing is the Lakers need a point guard.
Right. Okay.
So they need a point guard. They have some players. They have some talent, but it needs a point guard.
Okay.
The best point guard available, his name is LeBron James.
Okay.
And he's leading the league in assists. You know, it was kind of weird for us seeing him that way, but now we're starting to see him put together a nice rhythm to his game where he's being aggressive. He just had a 40-point triple-double.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's not just let me feed, you know, let me stand flat-footed. And then some of that, you know, we were criticizing him, but some of that might have been conservative energy.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So,
okay. All right. So I mean, I picked him, and I'm gonna ride with him because, like you said, I don't see another team right now that can really come at them for 4 games.
I'm gonna just say the reason why I really do think that they're gonna win, and we saw a little bit of it in this last game, and I'm hoping that we see it this weekend. The emotion that Anthony Davis played with,
like he's trying to turn it up a little bit.
He's turning it up.
Yeah.
The freeness, because we were talking about it the other week after the post show. We were having a conversation, and we were just saying, you know, it's not even that we need another wing.
Yeah.
We just need Anthony Davis to be more dynamic.
Yeah.
It's him, take it behind your back, take it between your legs, go up and shoot a reverse, pull up 3, bouncing. You're starting to see
get in your bag.
You get in his bag.
Yeah.
You're starting to see that looseness to his game, and then you even found out like, whoa, like maybe it's a whole nother level he can go to defensively.
Right.
I really do think the level that he's gonna take it up a notch when Anthony Davis actually plays for real.
Right.
I think he's gonna lose his mind.
The team the Lakers don't want to see. If they was to write their story.
If it's any team that the Lakers would love to avoid, even as a Lakers fan, the Clippers.
Okay.
The Clippers. But this is the thing I think about the Clippers. You can't. Everybody wants to just pencil them in, and I know everybody got this narrative like, well, it just matters what you do in the playoffs.
No. You got to build chemistry.
But not only that, but you have to acknowledge the players on the team. I'll do it for Milwaukee. You got Milwaukee going through the playoffs, right? Regular season last year, killing, winning 60-plus games.
Right.
Now, first round, you got Giannis, Bledsoe. Everybody's killing, knocking down shots. Second round, all of a sudden, Bledsoe is trash. All of a sudden, all of a sudden, Giannis can't dunk no more.
Right,
you know what I mean? Like he's all of a sudden, what happens is you think that you have all of these players available. Look at this player. He averages 15. He averages 20. Till the second round of the playoffs.
Right. Because the matchups become very
the
microscopic.
matchups, the pressure,
all the attention
playoffs.
to detail.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And so, you know, the Clippers they have one player with a reputation for showing up big in the playoffs.
Right.
And that player did it one time. And I remember some stinkers throughout there.
Okay.
But, you know, Toronto was just a really good team. Lou Williams is not an NBA champion. Pat Beverly is not an NBA champion. Montrezl Harrell is not an NBA champion. Paul George has went out in the first round of the playoffs the last 2 years.
Right.
I get the Zubac. He's only gonna average. He doesn't even have high level of production.
Right.
Y'all. I get what y'all want, what you want it to be, but just understand, like if Clippers have to play Houston. And we know that, you know, Harden and Westbrook and those guys, they haven't won either. But Harden still averaged 34-35. You still got production. And can you really count on Lou Williams averaging 20 points? Because if he's not, then you're going to have to depend on Paul George averaging 20 points. And everybody says, well, when the Clippers get healthy, when? It's March. It's at some point.
It's his turn.
At some point, as a person that loves basketball and watching basketball, I have to say, well, I can believe that things are going to be different, or I can believe that they're going to be what they are.
Period.
Well, when the Clippers are healthy, they're never healthy. they showed a stat the other day. They said Clippers are, I think they was like, they're 5-0.
Right.
When all of their starting
5 games, right.
5 games.
Man.
It's March, and y'all telling me about 5 games throughout the entire season that they had everybody healthy.
Right.
They're not gonna be healthy. They're not gonna be. Paul George is not gonna be 100%.
Right.
Pat Beverly is going to tweak his hamstring. I'm just telling you what's gonna happen.
Right.
Like so just get ready for that. This is the thing that we let's just accept the facts. LeBron James had to play against the Golden State Warriors for the last, what's it been, 4 years? 4 or 5 years. I think they went 5 years. He played them every year. He beat them once. Then they had Durant. He's playing the Monstars.
Right.
LeBron don't give a damn about no Clippers.
Right.
I'm just trying to be honest with you. I get that we want him to show up, but LeBron ain't scared of no Clippers.
I don't know. No.
LeBron played the Warriors with KD, with scrubs, with nobody but him. Dropped 55, and if JR, who might end up on the Lakers, wouldn't have done something crazy, or if Hill hits the shot, they at least get that game.
Right.
He's gonna show up.
Yeah.
And when he shows up, what Clippers Nation has to understand is not only will Anthony Davis be the biggest player on the court, so will LeBron.
Right. That's why we picked him. It's like anybody that picked against him, like, I don't know if y'all really looking at it.
I get it, but he's gonna show up.
Yeah, I don't get it. If you pick the Clippers over the Lakers, I don't get it. I still don't see it. It's like,
he's gonna show up. So okay. But we don't even have to wonder. We don't have to wonder.
Hey, get your brackets out for the NBA playoffs and for March Madness. We're going to be rolling right along into this. You're going to see us back very soon because we're going to talk about this. We're getting into basketball. We ain't worried about football right now. We're getting into basketball. This is what we do. This is what we like. Thank you for watching Spinion. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe. Subscribe to our channel. Subscribe. Please. Very coming shortly. We're going to start giving out some giveaways and surprises for those that subscribe. We thank you for watching. For those that watch, make sure you subscribe. You've been watching the Spinion!